The Corvani delegation had been laughing for the better part of an hour. Not the polite diplomatic chuckles that typically filled the council chambers of Nexus Station, but genuine chittering amusement that echoed off the crystalline walls. Humans. Ambassador Keith Var clicked his mandibles together in what passed for a grin among his species. The galaxy's newest members, and they want to negotiate family visitation rights into the frontier mining accords. The other alien representatives joined in the mirth. The Zeltharians' gill slits fluttered with suppressed laughter, while the hulking Gorvak simply shook their massive heads in disbelief. Captain Sarah Chen sat quietly at the human delegation table, her fingers steepled as she watched the display. Beside her, diplomatic attaché Williams shifted uncomfortably, but Sarah remained perfectly still. She had expected this reaction. Perhaps, Keith Var continued, wiping a tear-like secretion from his compound eyes. The humans don't understand the nature of deep space mining operations. These are hostile environments, death worlds where only the strongest species dare to work. The Corvani have been mining the outer reach for 3 centuries. We've lost entire crews to stellar radiation, asteroid impacts, and worse. And you want to bring children out there? The Zeltharian representative, Admiral Silex, bubbled through his breathing apparatus. Human emotional attachments are well documented, but this is beyond irrational. It's suicidal. Sarah finally spoke, her voice calm and measured. We understand the risks, Admiral. But we also understand something you might not. What humans are capable of when family is involved. Oh, we know what humans are capable of. Kethvar's tone dripped with condescension. Excellent engineers, decent pilots, remarkable medical knowledge. But physically, mentally, you're soft. Your species breaks under pressure that our young find amusing. No offense intended. None taken. Sarah's smile was thin but genuine. Perhaps I could share a story from our recent mining survey of the Kepler 442 system. The chamber fell into polite silence. Even the mockery had limits in formal diplomatic settings. 3 months ago, the UES Pioneer was conducting a routine mining assessment on Kepler 442b. Hostile environment, surface temperatures reaching 400 degrees Celsius, atmosphere thick with sulfur compounds, gravity 1.8 times Earth standard. By, your species standards. Barely tolerable even with full environmental suits. Sarah activated her holographic display, showing the barren, hellish landscape of the planet. The survey team consisted of Chief Engineer Marcus Rodriguez, Geologist Dr. Kim Park, and Pilot Lieutenant Hayes. All experienced professionals. But Rodriguez had requested this assignment specifically. She paused, meeting each alien representative's gaze. His daughter Elena had been posted to the nearby Kepler station. She was pregnant with his first grandchild. The Corvani delegation exchanged glances. The concept of grandchildren was foreign to their egg-laying communal society. During the survey, a seismic event, magnitude 8.2, opened a massive fissure beneath their temporary habitat. Dr. Park and Lieutenant Hayes were trapped in a collapse 40 meters underground. The communication array was damaged, life support was failing, and they had perhaps 6 hours of breathable air remaining. Sarah manipulated the hologram, showing cross-sections of the underground cavity. Standard protocol would have been for Rodriguez to return to orbit, request rescue support, and wait for properly equipped teams. Estimated response time, 14 hours. Dr. Park and Hayes would have been dead for 8 of those hours. The chamber was completely silent now. But Rodriguez had received a message just before the quake. His daughter had gone into labor prematurely. Complications. She was asking for her father. Sarah's voice never wavered, but something in her eyes hardened. Marcus Rodriguez, a 54-year-old maintenance engineer with no combat training and a bad knee from an old shuttle accident, made a choice. He stripped every piece of useful equipment from the habitat. Welding torch, emergency oxygen canisters, structural supports, even the protein ration heater. Then he rappelled into that fissure. The hologram now showed a cross-section view of Rodriguez's descent. For 11 hours in 400-degree heat that should have killed him in minutes, Rodriguez cut through collapsed metal, hauled aside debris that weighed more than he did, and jury-rigged life support systems from spare parts. His environmental suit's cooling system failed after hour 3. His hands were burned so badly they had to be surgically rebuilt later. He worked until his body was literally consuming its own muscle tissue for energy. Admiral Silex leaned forward. This is impossible. No biological system can endure. He pulled them out, Sarah continued quietly. Dr. Park and Lieutenant Hayes, both alive. Then he piloted a damaged shuttle through an electrical storm to reach Kepler Station, in time to hold his granddaughter's hand as she took her first breath. The silence stretched for long moments. The remarkable part, Sarah added, isn't that Rodriguez did this. The remarkable part is that every human who heard this story said the same thing. Of course he did. It was family. She stood, gathering her materials. You think we're soft because we feel. You think emotional attachment makes us weak. But you've never seen what a human becomes when someone they love is threatened. We've toppled governments for our children. We've held dying spouses in our arms and refused to let them go until we'd tried everything. Twice. We've carried wounded friends through hostile territory when any rational species would have left them behind. Sarah looked directly at Ambassador Kethvar. You want to know why we insist on family visitation rights in the mining accords? Because a human who knows their family is safe will give you reliable professional work. But a human who knows their family is threatened or isolated or suffering. She smiled, and for the first time the alien delegates saw something that made them uncomfortable. That human becomes the most dangerous force in the known galaxy. We prefer our miners focused on extracting ore, not on the creative ways they might dismantle anyone standing between them and the people they love. The vote on the family visitation amendment was unanimous. Later, as the delegates filed out, Admiral Silex approached Captain Chen. This Rodriguez, is he still mining? Sarah nodded. Sector Chief now. Productivity in his region increased 340% after we implemented the family visitation program. And his granddaughter? Healthy, happy, learning to walk. Sarah's expression softened for a moment. Marcus video calls with her every day. She thinks Grandpa lives in the stars. As Sarah walked away, she heard Admiral Silex mutter to his aide. Perhaps we should reconsider our assessment of human softness. Sarah smiled. They were learning. Family wasn't humanity's weakness, it was their superpower.